Welcome back, folks. With me, Phil Turrell. You're watching another Let's Play. This time we're playing Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga, with the Legends DLC on it. So, this is actually an RPG I tried to play for a channel really early on when I first started my channel, but it didn't quite record right. So I'm going to take another jab at it. So let's go ahead let's start a new game. You're given 4 difficulties. You're given Cadet, Captain, Warlord, and Ludicrous. I'm going to go with Captain. That is the normal difficulty. Cadet is the easiest. You take less damage, and you get, I want to say that you get more resources, but Captain is the medium difficulty, and of course Warlord is harder. It basically scales. The enemies get more HP, more attack power, and I want to say you get less resources. And of course Ludicrous is even worse than that. I'm going to go ahead and enable tutorials. I'm going to talk over some of the tutorials, so I'll let you read that, and then I'll explain a little bit more in depth. This game has a lot of mechanics in it. And then I'm not going to enable permadeath, which might piss off some people who have played Fire Emblem or any sort of tactical RPG where if you die, you die. I'm going to turn this off just so I can have I like to play with permadeath on occasion, but really I don't really enjoy it. I can see why people enjoy it like all the time, but I'm not one of those people. I'm just a filthy casual, you know. So anyways, let's begin the game. Ah, there you are, Child of Destiny. You arrived at a very opportune time. You will find. Let me look into your heart. Who are you? Will you be journey marked in by virtue, or will this land's people remember you as an adversary? I hope that they... okay, I wasn't expecting this question. You're blessed with a child. If you could choose their fate, what would it be? Famous musician, famous musician, a great general, or a devout follower of the faith. I want them to kick ass, so they're going to be a general. A desperate beggar corners you, demanding money. What do? Intimidating and backing down. Talk your way out of the situation. Offer him a warm meal at the local pub. I'm going to talk my way out of the situation because I'm broke. You must give up your most valuable possession. What is it? Well, I can't carry my wealth with me if I'm dead, so I'm going to give him my wealth. What's the most important trait a leader should have? The ability to bring people together, an unshakable love for people, the power to command fear and respect. I want respect and fear. Is a potential ruler in difficult times. What is your most effective tool? Your kind heart, your inspiring charisma, fear. Well, since I said I wanted to be feared and respected, I probably should put fear, but I'm going to say I'm very charismatic. Now, because I'm a dude, I'm going to go ahead and be a dude, playing a dude in a video game. Who's a dude? Alright, so the character's name is going to be Devoa. I'm cool with that. So you've chosen Devoa. Yes. Thank you. What an intriguing soul. Go and I will see you here again when the time is right. Fun fact, I wonder if Symphony of War 2 takes place on that other continent on the opposite side of the planet. Year 972 in Emertrej, capital city of the Empire of Veridia. And it seems to be a nice, cold, snowy day. Around the time we're recording right now, it's about to be New Year's, actually. So it's a little bit chilly right now. Alright, looks like we're in a monastery. Okay. And it looks like there's a lot of sick people. Okay, what's happening? Yeah, it's a cute baby. By the gods, the child survived. And the father perished fighting the nobles, just like most of the young in this town. The mother prepared names for this. This one shall be named Devoa. He is so beautiful. May he live to see a better world. Alright, so mommy and daddy kicked the bucket, and looks like we're an orphan. 25 years pass. And the Veridian War secession is it's very important. It affects a lot of characters in the story. And we actually get some DLC chapters that describe that War of Secession. So when we get to an appropriate chapter, I'll go ahead and play that. The world of Tenra. In the year 997 Jesus. Year of our aged Lord and Savior Denari, 3 realms ruled the world. Sayuna, the Desert Kingdom, whose wealth earned it the title Kingdom of Gold, which we may plunder towards the middle to end of the game. The technologically advanced Free Republic of Sandrika, which we are also going to visit because plot demands it. And the main focus of the game, the hegemonic empire of Veridia, the world's military and economic superpower. Our story begins. One generation ago, multiple bids for the Veridian Imperial thrones purged and landed in the war. This is known as the War of Veridian Secession. I said that a little bit too early. I should have mentioned that there, but yeah, that war is what impacts a lot of our characters. And the Empire, as it is right now, is ruled by Empress Farina. However, it left deep scars in the people's hearts as resentment towards the excesses of the ruling class arose to a boiling point. Common people who lost so much were forced to endure hardships as the empire sought to rebuild. 25 years ago, after the Secession War, a man named Big Boss, battle war in general, Antares, kidnapped the Empress and formed his own army in an act of open rebellion, aka Diamond Dogs. It wasn't Diamond Dogs, but that'd be funny if that's what they were called. He now controls a territory in the forest known as the East Wall District, driven by what he believes to be undue hardships by the central government, and terrorist threatens to sack the imperial capital if his demands are not met. The ambitious Prime Minister Casimir, has called the general's bluff and decided to take military action. His name is General Zero. He orders a force sent to the terrorist stronghold at East Wall Fortress. I might have just had a little bit too much fun playing Metal Gear Solid Delta. I almost said Mega Man Delta. Once again, Jesus. Two young and promising Imperial Army officers, Devoa and his longtime friend Zelos, had prepared to meet General Antares in battle. Little could they know how much their adventure would change the course of history. Alright, so we are actually going to be a commander of our own force here, and it's a bit of a nervous wreck for Devoa, a little bit, I sense. But he's very sure of himself as well. Let us raise a glass to my friend Devoa. Here, yeah! Bet you all thought he wouldn't make it this far, but now he's ready to lead his first squad in battle. But I knew better. Not in a celebrating mood, Devoa? Well, there's a lot in the line. The Emperor's life is in our hands, you know. So there's that. I'm not worried. I doubt these guys can keep up with you. It is having a one-man army in our midst. I'm just a man, being a man, hitting men in this game, man. We got gods on our sides. I'm going to trust in my soldiers, not some idea. Don't tell me you believe in those fairy tales now. Don't underestimate the power of ideas, friend. Look at how this empire is starting to forget the ideas that built it. With a proper leader, people would again feel a part of something. There will be no generals going rogue. We've come a long way since the academy, but now we've faced the real thing. Come, Devoa, let's brush up a bit. This is our first tutorial. So you can see here it's very much like Fire Emblem. And as Zealous says, it's like a game of chess. You will command a group of soldiers known as squads, and each squad will have a leader. You appear as blue, and the enemy team will appear as red. Time to engage in combat. First, you must move your squad next to me. Select your squad, move to the top next to me, and blah blah blah. Very much like Fire Emblem. Select your unit, move them, and proceed to smash them against the enemy. Now, Zelos is a very powerful unit called Zwahelder, I think. And they're basically rank 1. I think they're rank 2, I believe, or rank 3. So we're just literally rank 1. So this isn't going to end up very well for Devoa. Boop, just 12. And he wipes off like a third of my health. Now I only have 17 of my health. So that's not very good. So, looks like Fire Emblem at first because it's 1v1. Not bad. Now let's raise the stakes. We're healed. And now we got a squad. Now, I've heard, and I've never played this game or the series called Ogre Tactics, I believe. I've read, I haven't seen, but I've read that this combat system has elements of it, like having squads like this. So, very interesting. The thing about this, originally I didn't like this system. Because you cannot control individually the members of your squad. They all attack at random. Now there's a little bit of reason and logic for some of the way they attack. But for example, I'm going to attack and I have 3 infantry, Devoa, and 3 archers. So the archers will attack first always. Then the infantry will attack second. And then you got other units that will attack before the archers as well. But that's how they go. If I had like 4 enemies there, they would all possibly attack 4 different enemies. So that's the thing originally I didn't like. But once you understand how some of these units control, that's not a problem no more. And it really, when you have 9 units at the max to about maybe 6 units, you know, it doesn't really matter if they all attack randomly. Somebody's going to die, or they're going to get very mortally wounded, and you can finish them off with the second squad. And then there's some units that are absolutely broken. But anyways, back to the story. Aren't you a bit early, Scout? We saw Big Boss's men celebrating on the outline. I mean, and Terra's celebrating in the outlying village. The rebels have begun raiding the locals. General Terrace has stooped to this. How far has he fallen since the secession war? Send word to the captain or capital. Maybe they can send us a real army. I thought we were the army. And we look real. You heard that, right? I did. Zealous. I know what you're thinking. How do you plan on explaining this to higher-ups? Blah, don't worry about them. You, me, and just our troops. Once we've taken down this rebellion, we'll be celebrities. What say you? We're doing this for fame and fortune. We'll be soldiers of fortune, Devoa. Okay, Zealous, I'm with you. But I'm calling the shots this time. Fine by me. I got your back, Devoa. You're the one that thinks I just do the smashing. Chapter 1. Rebellion. Good. Looks like they haven't sent much out yet. You should take these guys out to get some battle experience. You can move your squad next to enemy soldiers and attack. If you run into trouble, I'm right behind you. Take a break, Zealous. I got this, big dog. Alright. Let's take Devoa and bring him next to this archer, and we're going to smack him. They only got 2 archers. We have 3 main attackers and 1 healer. And looks like my guy is an assassin type lord at the moment. Okay. Ooh, that's good. I'm glad we got that. I'm saving. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I have to save scum on certain chapters, I'm going to save scum on certain chapters. Okay. So that bronze arena token is something that we're going to use once we go in between chapters. So Devoa is going to get attacked, and we totally take out Benny and his squad. Benny! We took some squad damage in that fight, but we can heal it back with having support units such as the medic in your squad. While they cannot attack, support units can greatly keep soldier losses to a minimum. Every round that you fight, if you still have a healer in your squad, they will heal 1 member of your squad. And in between battles, when you're moving units on the map, you get an option to do 3 heals. I believe there is some change to that with certain items you can equip to your character called Artifact that can benefit or extend it, I believe, by 1, so you can do it 4 times. But you can heal as many times in 1 round as you have healers in your squad. So you have 1 healer, you can heal once in a round outside of battle. You have 2, you can heal twice per 1 round. So it's kind of in your best interest at times, depending on what kind of unit you're making, to have more than 1 healer. Sometimes I'll run units with no healers. Sometimes I'll run it with 2, and those are kind of like my makeshift medical units. But the good thing about this game is it doesn't really matter how you make these units. You can have fun making all kinds of crazy unit combinations. But back to what we just did. We liberated a town, very much like Fire Emblem. And like Fire Emblem, they give you stuff. In this case, they give us money and some faction experience, stars. And gold is pretty self-explanatory. You need it to buy nice things. Faction experience allows you to increase your faction rate, and you want your faction rate to increase because it will offer, as Zealous is saying, better prices. You can get new technology. That's probably the most important thing. You can get better recruits at the shops, and we can intimidate our enemies with hiring. I don't know so much about that. Normally, I didn't know that until right now, actually. But you really want to get high ranks really early because they benefit you in terms of technology and having better recruitment pool in the shops. So General Big Boss, the Imperial Army has already arrived. Much sooner than I expected. Wolfgar, I'm trusting you to lead our troops here. If you hold the river fortress, we should be safe here. I'll make sure they regret coming here. Don't worry, General. Alright, and we get 2 extra units. Or 2 extra squads, I should say. Looks like we made it just in time. Are you ready for this, Sybil? Are you kidding, Jules? I've been waiting ages for a chance to prove my mettle. Come and get it, rebel scum. Your squad's gotten tougher soldiers, so they should stay front. Mine will provide long-range archer attacks from a safe distance. That hill that Jules is talking about, he'll actually get 1 extra range on his archers. So archers normally get 2 range, but on that hill, he'll get 3 range. Later on, we'll have units that can do 3 range, so they'll be able to get 4 range if they get on the hill or a battlement. Okay, so let's go ahead and use the hill and take these archers out because they won't be able to hit us back because we're too outside their range. And we did pretty decent damage. Okay, let's go ahead and move Sybil over here. And Sybil, while she's not a very good unit, she does have spearmen, and spearmen are pretty useful in certain situations. Most cases against our cavalry, but then they also get abilities that help boost other units as well in technology. So that's kind of nice. And that's also very nice they all took out that squad. I sometimes don't get that, but that was actually a nice surprise. Okay, let's go ahead and move Devoa here. And Devoa, I'm going to have him heal and make sure I'm out of these people's ranges. I don't want to get hit by all these units at once. Okay, they can't move. So I'm going to move Devoa here. Devoa heal. And Zelos is the Jagan of the first leg of Devoa's journey. And for those who don't know who a Jagan character is, that is reference to a Fire Emblem character who basically can carry the characters for a good portion of the game, but they don't really, you don't want to over rely on them, long story short, because there's a lot of detriment to doing that. But if you need to use Zealous, I recommend using Zealous. I tend to use Zealous to weaken the bosses and then having my normal units finish them off. Alright, so let's go ahead and have Devoa. I'm going to have Devoa take out the archers, and I'll have Zealous take out that 1 unit back there. Ooh. Actually, I've never had Devoa be a like a rogue before. That's actually kind of nice. He one-shotted one of those archer units. Okay, Zealous is going to come back here, and he's going to absolutely destroy this unit because there's only 1 unit or 1 soldier. Okay, let's have Jules go up to the second space away from this, and we're going to have him launch his attack. Now they can't heal, so they're kind of stuck like Chuck with what they got. And Sybil is going to do her best to destroy these people. Sybil's a healer, and she has an apprentice, which is a mage. They take 2 turns to use their magic, and when you gain a certain tech, they'll just use their magic right away. So mages aren't so useful in the early game. They're more useful to the mid to late game. I can see why people wouldn't like them in the early game, but I like to have a few mages in my squads. Alright. Now, any characters who have those exclamation marks, they will talk to Devoa if you have Devoa run into them. Alright, so what Zealous is talking about is we need to take that main fortress where Wolfgar is at. So we need to take out Wolfgar, very much like Fire Emblem, and then secure the fortress, and then we win the level, which is very much like Fire Emblem. And so what we want to do is we want to take out these castles as much as we want to gain the castle, of course, and the towns around it. That way we can get as much money and stars as possible. And I'm actually going to show one thing that we can use to boost our stars a lot. So we have little challenges here. Attack from a hill using Jill's squad. We did that. Seize all map objectives, which that was 1. The mine here is 2. This village is 3. And this other village is 4. The villages will give you gold and stars. The mine will give you resources. So I would recommend getting these resources. Iron, obsidian, jewels, or gems, I should say, and sunstones are used, and pyrite are used to upgrade units, as Zealous is saying right here. While resources are not consumed, they're just allocated, which means we can change classes without any risk at all. Feel free experience. So what he's saying is that once you use a resource to upgrade a unit, you can actually downgrade that unit and get that resource back. And so Jules and Devoa are going to have a little bit of reminiscing here and catching up, because they're actually trainees at the academy that they trained at together. So very cool. And Jules is going to have a semi-important role towards, I would say, a little bit after the midpoint of the game. but he is an overall good unit. I like him. Sometimes I'll make him a warbow. I believe that's what the tier 3 archer class is. Or I'll make him into a cavalry version of an archer, which is also good because they can get very good mobility. Okay, Zillas, you would kill all those people if I let you go. So I'm gonna let Devoa get his attacks in, and then you can swing by and finish him off if you want. Which I don't know, they might finish him off. Yeah, we're definitely gonna finish him off. Boop, boop. And then they're dead. All right. So they level up, and we get some stats. Very much like Fire Emblem. I don't think the stats are random. I think there is some rhyme or reason. Well, I know why there's some of the stats go up higher than others, but I don't think the stat gains are random. There is a mechanic that allows stats to go up, and I'll talk about that. I think I'll wait until we get to the in-between areas of the chapters. Man, I cannot talk today. What is the matter with you, Feel Too Real? Alright, so Zealous is going to go east. Devoa is going to try to punch into the middle, but they're actually going to release some reinforcements here. Damn Imperial dogs. Why are they really this ruthless? The rest of you, go out there and stop them. Our cause will not be stopped here. So they got left out 2 spearmen and an infantry. Alright. If they attack, which they can actually move, we want to hole up in the fortress because we actually get some defensive bonuses there. Zealous is going to go this way, secure the town. And another thing, when you secure a town, you get some leadership experiences, which is what that flag showed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Devoa actually hold up here in the fort. And then I'm going to have him heal. See, do any of these have archers before I do what I'm going to... No. Well, one of them does. Ferdinand has the archers. So I'm going to have Sybil heal Devoa. Well, Matt, you're with the Imperial Army? Name's Sybil, battle maiden in Veridia. Jules and I were sent up the river to try and outflank the rebels. That's an impressive title, but you wear the garb of a temple priestess. Yeah, so what? Healing is just as important as hurting, isn't it? Of course. We're just fortunate to have a priestess among us. Sybil is a person who likes to battle, but she's actually a healer.
How can I help you, Lord?
I'm a healer, but she likes to fight, and she wants to one day be a paladin, and she might see that happen in this journey. But until then, she's going to be a healer. So let's go ahead and move Jules behind Devoa and hole up behind this fortress, or in this fortress, so we can make do with the defensive bonuses. Now what you saw there is, if you take out all the combatants and all that's left as non-combatants, you'll actually get them into custody, and then they'll be ransomed at the end of the chapter for gold and for stars. So it's in your best interest to try to get some units to surrender, and we'll get a much more efficient way to get enemies to surrender. But for now, we're not going to be able to do that just yet.
For my people, for my homeland.
Devoa, I need you to heal. So we're going to heal you up because you're a front row fighter.
I must stay
And
strong.
Devoa is going to attack here. And he's probably going to end up killing the healer. Or almost getting really close to killing the healer. That was a bad move on your part, man. Because your two defenders just died and you just surrendered. Anyways, Devoa's leadership went up, and that's pretty good. Man, we're getting some damn good eyes. We got dragon scale armor. Okay. I think we're still good on turns. Yeah, we got 7 out of 11 turns. Alright, so let's go and have Jules do some archery on them. Hopefully he'll hit the back, but when they're in the castle like they are now, it's very much like getting to a fort. They have extra defenses, all that good stuff. So what we want to do is soften them up with bows and then go in and start attacking them. Let's see, let's do here. I'm going to show off a shuffle. And a shuffle allows you to trade spaces with another unit, but in return, they stop their movement unless you have a certain item called, I I think it's wandering boots or wayfarer boots, I believe.
I must stay strong.
Okay, let's go ahead and attack. I think we'll be okay. Hopefully. Famous last words, right? There, we took out one of the archers. And we got full health from our units. Alright, they spread out their damage. That's okay. Ooh, almost dead. Ooh, we lost one of our soldiers. But we took out their leader. That's just as good. Alrighty. That's okay. Since we're not doing permadeath, that guy is not dead. Thankfully. Okay, some people are like, I should have stayed dead! Yeah, I guess you might be right, but I don't like playing under permadeath as much as I used to. So, let's go ahead and go to Sybil.
How can I help, my lord?
Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and have Zelos move Jules, actually, over here to the right so he can grab this town. I'm hoping he gets some leadership experience. Maybe he did, or maybe one of his underlings got it. But we got everything. Always double check that you got everything. Your challenges. We've seized all the main objectives but the main castle, which is fine. We neutralized all the squads that needed to be neutralized. We've gotten all the challenges, so we can secure this, and we will get an S rank more than likely. We got a faction rank up. We got gold, and we got more faction experience, and we're gonna get even more right here. So we got all the objectives, we got some surrenders, we get an S rank, which means we get 75 stars. So we got 97 stars, which is very good. Inner Keep East Wall Fortress. The Imperial Army has certainly wasted no time. We got to escape the Centurion's Rest. And you think I will just willingly go with you? You will. We both know the snakes in the capital cannot be trusted. You're much safer here, away from the schemes. And Terrace, you're going to get yourself killed. You don't deserve this. I've already given my life, but so too will my men if we don't escape immediately. Please, we must go to Centurion's Rest. Sounds like those two have a history together. Let's save the game. I'm going to go ahead and start all the way from the beginning where I started saving. So let's go ahead and save on save number 10. With East Wall Fortress secured by Devoa's army, General Antares retreats deeper within the forest to his stronghold at Centurion's Rest. If Devoa's first mission ends in victory, the Empire recognizes his promise as commander and trusts him to invade Centurion's Rest and destroy any rebel forces in that area. Despite Zealous' enthusiasm for battle, the meaning of the rebellion begins to weigh on Devoa's mind. These are not an invading force, they are common people, fellow Veridians, however they're traitors. Perhaps if Big Boss is brought to heel, they can bring this to a quick end to the violence. Antares. Meanwhile, stop doing that. Okay, so in between chapters, you'll go to towns, and you can do a lot of stuff here. You can rearrange squads, you can buy items, you can save your game again, you can use your DLC to do DLC chapters. When they give you optional missions to do when you get to a certain point in the game, you can do that as well. But this is where you upgrade your units, and where you can equip stuff to your units. And then you can conversate with your units, and you can get some nifty friendships or get some free stars as well. So those conversations I recommend doing unless there's a romance option that you're not fond of. But hey, whatever you want to do, you do with those romances. But generally I'll go for the ones that guarantee me stars, and I'll save the romance stuff for later. Which really doesn't affect the game very much except for some pairings at the very end. Okay, so I'm going to call it quits for right here, and we'll pick back up on the next part, and I will talk more about this section of the game and then explain what we should probably look out for. So I'll catch you folks on the next one later, and bye.